Hello, this is Joaquin Pesher for YUVsoft Stereo Conversion Plugin Suite for Nuke. For the first part of this tutorial, we'll discuss the basics of the stereo generator, which you will find over here in the toolset below all the other plugins for Nuke. These are all used for creating and refining your depth map. But at the moment, we're just going to discuss the stereo out, which is a stereo generator, which creates a left eye and right eye view for you. The stereo generator, which is part of their 2D to 3D conversion suite, it takes a 2D source plus a depth map as an input and generates two new views for the left and the right eye. It is assumed that the depth map is in shades of gray and will work with both 8-bit and 16-bit files. So first off, let's just pull in a stereo generator and take a look at the dialog box. For this tutorial, we will just be concerning ourselves with the parallax and the zero level. Getting started with the stereo generator is very simple, so it is only essentially these two parameters that, if necessary, you need to adjust for just your depth and what kind of effect you're going for. If you're going for looking into like the aquarium tank, or you want to do the stereo gag trick and have things fly out, in front of you. This is where you're going to do it. The parallax option right here specifies the maximum disparity in hundreds of percent of an image width, i.e. 100 corresponds to 1%. The zero level option sets which depth level corresponds to the screen plane. Areas with depth values larger than zero will be in front of the screen in negative parallax, while values less than zero will be behind the screen in positive parallax. In most cases, for a deep 3D effect, parallax values should be above at least 150. So let's just get started and show you, the effects of, adjusting and manipulating the parallax and zero level. First, you pull your stereo generator, as I mentioned, from here, from the toolset, which is located right at the base of all the other plugins, and you would just go and pull the stereo generator as we did. It takes a source, and from here it takes a depth map, and from here you can actually visualize your stereo. Let's turn this into anaglyph mode so we can get a better view of this and kind of enlarge the picture a little bit. So we'll go into anaglyph mode and take a look at this. As you can see, we have our stereo effect created by a highly refined and well-detailed depth map. When you change to parallax modes, a bigger parallax means bigger unknown areas, which are automatically filled by an inpainting method, which appears as stretching. For cinema conversion and large parallaxes, clean plates and other approaches should be used in most cases in order to achieve a higher quality stereo effect. But as you can see, everything is done on the fly. You can exaggerate it, you can minimize it. I mean, you can see everything you need right there in front of you. And the zero level, as we mentioned, moves your stuff into the negative or into the positive screen space. Having things fly out at you or go back into depth. So that's what these are for. They're just there to manipulate your stereo visual, views. Your left eye and your right eye. You can see that we have, our convergence going on, and from left eye to right eye. It's just really a powerful tool, actually, because you can actually do this dynamically, and you don't need to render it out and see your effect. You can just deal with it inside the computer and inside Nuke, which makes things a lot quicker. I've done over 3 titles with this software, and this is one of the best stereo generators I've had to work with out of all the studios I've worked with. So I'm really pleased to be talking about this software. The next steps that we're going to show further on in the tutorials will be discussing the smart depth map dilation options, and then on a third part of the tutorial we will also discuss depth map reprocessing for fine-tuning the details. These are mostly for, when you have inaccurate, the smart depth map dilation option is specifically for, when you have your inaccurate borders with the depth map, imprecisely matching the object borders with the depth map and the underlying 2D image. This causes, a ghosting effect or stretching, and, later on down the line it's a visual discomfort for the viewers. So I'll show you that in the second part of the tutorial. And in the third part of the tutorial, we'll go over a bit about the smart depth map dilation, or the SDMD, along with the depth map preprocessing, to refine it even a little bit more. Further on, in other tutorials, we'll get into more detailed explanations of all these, advanced generation options and deformations of your object, which would obviously be your depth map in specific. So let's just show you a little bit more. What you would do here is you would just, from this point on, if everything's all good and you've got your stuff zeroed in and you like your effect, set knobs to default, and you like your effect, say you want to pull things a little bit further out into the screen as negative space, you would just kick this up to like 200, and that would be a much more exaggerated look flying out at you. Below 127, you're going to get things further back into negative space, into positive space, which would be that kind of aquarium look, that fishbowl look, like you're looking into the whole environment with its depth. So that's all I really want to talk about here. From this point on, you would just do a write node and kick your files out, left eye, right eye, select your output path, and generally most people are rendering out at DPX 10-bit, and that's the short and simple of this. So let me get ready to show you how to handle this this ghosting effect that occurs from improper edges of your depth map and your 2D image, where they just don't match up. Maybe you did your depth map with Roto and some painting or other tools in here that will help you fix that edging problem and stuff like that. But if you're just at this point, there are other tricks too that can come really in handy. So let me get set up for the Smart Depth Map Dilation mode, the SDMD mode, which is shown down here at the base of the settings box. Okay, I'll be right back in a second.